Hello, I'm Aaron with Roofs by Rodger, and today we're going to go over a couple of simple items to talk about for your roofing system, so you understand what's going on in your roof and what we're going to offer you. We're going to go over basic product information and talk about each individual item that's going into your roof system and explain how it's going to benefit you. First thing we're going to talk about today is ice and water barrier. This is a code required item for Champaign County, for surrounding counties. This material here is really highly recommended to use in this type of environment. We get a lot of ice, get a lot of snow. So this product here is going to benefit you in many ways. It's basically an asphalt with a rubberized material in it, and this here is going to have an adhesive on one side, and it's essentially going to stick down to your decking. It's going to prevent water from collecting and getting up underneath the plywood and causing that to rot out prematurely. So this material here gets stuck down the first 3 foot of the perimeter of the roof, all your valleys. It's going to go over any penetrations in the roof, whether it's skylights or ridge vent, roof vents. So this material here has an adhesive on the back. It sticks down to this plywood, and then from there we put our other materials over that, and that system together with this material here is going to prevent that water and ice from backing up and getting underneath this and lifting it. So when the guys are out installing this material on your roof, this is going to go at the bottom 3 foot. If your eaves are 2 foot or 2.5 foot, this is going to require an additional row of material. So sometimes you might see that cost figured into your individual bid. It's all based on your home and how your home is set up with the eaves, and if you have low-lying areas where it's maybe a 3 or 4/12 pitch, we're going to put this on that entire section. The next product we're talking about today is underlayments. A few different types of underlayments. The most common that we use in this area, especially with our roofs, because we do a 50-year warranty on our systems, is going to be synthetic felt. This material here, comparing to your standard 15 or 30-pound felt, it doesn't tear. It's got a 6-month lifespan open element, so if for any reason shingles were to fly off or the project got started and didn't get completed on a certain time, if water gets on this material, it's completely waterproof. So typically we tear off your roof, we get all the way down to the decking, we start putting our ice and water on. We get this material on quickly, that way if weather does arise, it's not going to penetrate the house, not going to get your plywood wet or anything like that. So this material here, combined with the ice and water and the other GF products, is what's going to get you that 50-year warranty. The material's easy, it goes on, it sits about a foot above our ice and water, and we kind of overlap that just to have added protection. Plus it's a grippy surface, so when the guys are on your roof, you're not going to have them sliding off, falling off. It's grippy to the shoes, so good material. It works. This material, we use cap nails just like everybody else. So 15-pound felt, this is a material that's used widely. I mean, I've seen it on roofs in the area. It's not the best material, it does the job, but it's not going to get you to 50 years. I recommend using the synthetic underlayment. We put it on all of our jobs. Again, simple, you can tear this with your fingers, so it's not a very durable product, whereas this stuff here, it's like a ripstop material, so it's not going to tear away. If the wind gets a hold of it, it's not going to rip big sections away. So that gets you your water shedding. So if a shingle fails, let's just say water gets through a penetration, it's going to hit this and shield that water off, protecting the OSB or plywood, whatever sheeting you have, and prevent that from getting wet and damaged. So next step, we use GF's Pro Start starter strip. This material is going to go around all the edges. It's got a little thicker glue line, Duragrip glue. It's a proprietary product that GF uses. When we compare roof to roof, this stuff holds up better in the wind. That's why they have a no limit wind rating. Most manufacturers have anywhere from 110 to 130 mile per hour wind rating. So extra glue works better, solid glue lines are better. Typically, manufacturers or installers will use a 3-tab shingle. They'll cut the shingle, use part of that shingle down there, so there's a loss of material. This stuff here comes in, it's actually usually in one sheet and perforated, so we tear that apart. And that way you get, out of that same material, you're getting your starter strip. You get basically 8 foot almost, 6, what is it, 3 foot wide? So you get about 6 foot worth of material out of that same sheet, whereas you only get 3 out of a 3-tab shingle. You're going to throw a lot of material away, so you're going to have a lot of waste. So this prevents that from happening. All right, main piece, shingle, GF Timberline HTZ. These are the newest shingle that they offer. These shingles come with our system, 50-year warranty. They have a no limit win rating. GF's shingles, they have 8 main colors that we sell. There's quite a few other multicolors you can get a hold of. All the shingles are gonna look the same when it comes to the structure, the size, dimensions. The main thing here, they got 2-inch wide nail strip zone here. So essentially, most manufacturers, including GF, previously had 1-inch wide, 3/4-inch wide nail strips. So when the installers are installing those, I mean, they gotta be snipers to get these nails down. So if you get a high nail or a low nail is gonna basically show, so you're gonna see some shiny objects on your roof. If you get them too high, you get wind blowing, there's the shingle. So these are things that avoid warranties. These are things that will cause you problems in the future. So having a reputable installer install these shingles is very, it's important. It's the main thing that you want for your company is to install those shingles right, because the product can be the best in the world, but if you don't install them right, you're not gonna have a good system. So these shingles essentially will lay over that starter strip. There's glue on each shingle. On top of the glue here, they overlap each other, and essentially when they melt, they will connect. It just makes a thicker glue bead, wider glue bead down there, so wind will not lift that shingle up. First shingle gets nailed on. GF only requires 4 nails per shingle. We typically do 6 to 7 nails per shingle. Some manufacturers still require that, so we're going to stay with that number in case the customer picks a different brand or something of that sort. But they only require 4, we do 6. Once that shingle's down, it's there for at least 50 years, right? So next shingle goes over that, it's going to overlap that shingle. This is going to cover up where we just put those nails. And this should come right down to the bottom white edge. And it'll be offset around 8 to 10 inches. This is important because a lot of roofs we go up and inspect, you'll see seams literally overlapping each other. So water has a chance to essentially work its way into your system. So in theory, if you don't have the right products underneath, you just ruined your roof installing it the wrong way. So it's important to have the shingles installed proper by a licensed professional. That's what we're going to give you, solid roofs, watertight. So a couple things, nails, high nail would be something of this sort here. It's through one layer, it'll easily tear, so that's an issue. A low nail, something shiner they call it. You put your next shingle on there, you can see that. You're going to see that nail. So both these things here, these mistakes would cost you warranty on your roof. So if it wasn't installed right, then the installer's going to have to go back and fix that. So we inspect that roof when it's done, make sure that there's no nails that are improperly installed. That way you're fully covered. Couple things to look at. If you get a close up here, you can see each shingle where it's overlaid. It's where that nail is going through, it's going through 2 layers of the asphalt material. If it goes through 1 layer, that's just not enough to hold that nail and it will tear. So if you were to put that nail high like this one, it's only through 1 layer, you don't have that backer behind it. So very important when it's getting installed. Again, this glue that's on here, when it overlaps and lays over this smooth area here, that glue will melt 40 degrees, 2 hours time, direct sunlight. It'll actually stick that shingle down and you really can't get them apart. So a couple things, vents, we use these here and there. We recommend other products, but if we install one of these, it's going to get ice and water around it. It's going to do its job. They are metal, so they do dent over time. If you get hail that hits it, it's going to dent. If something falls on it, it's going to dent. The finish itself will last, but overall, it's not as long of lasting product as the items on the roof. So it will vent properly. It will do all its things. It'll last, but aesthetically, it won't hold up to the test of time. That's just for the elements. This product here is Snow Country. It's another GF product. This is one that we recommend. We like to do them on all the roofs we can do. There are certain applications we can't put this material on, but essentially this goes over the ridge, the final shingles that get all the way up to the top here. This is going to go over the top. It's going to curve to the pitch of the roof. It gets nailed down about every foot, and then the shingles go over the top of this. So these actual panels interlock. So there's a panel that goes over it. This side here overlaps this. So if water were to get on that with no shingles on it, you're still watertight. On the side here, there is some baffling, and that baffling, that's what makes this Snow Country. If you get snow blowing in from the edge, it's not going to pack up and get inside your attic and cause issues. So you got to make sure if you are doing ridge vent, you do have to have the proper material for this area, and this is one of those products. So this is a polymer material. I mean, it's very flexible. It's not brittle. It'll take hail hits. It'll take walking on to a point, but for the most part, it's flexible. It's not something that's going to break down over time. This would be the last product that goes on there, besides the ridge cap shingles. All right, so these ridge cap shingles, they are the last piece to go on. So when these get put on, they fit from edge to edge. They leave this little vent area open here. Each shingle gets overlapped, gets nailed down with 2 nails right behind that blue line there. Next shingle will go over just like so, and all the way down the roof. And that'll give it a nice, clean, flat surface to go down. It'll look good. It'll still allow that roof to vent. Keeps penetrations off from the main portion of the roof, which is just another potential leak spot if something happens to that item. Whether it's a box vent or if it's just a standard vent. You know, we use a rubber boot that goes around those, and you know, we like to use quality products, so we're not going to put cheap stuff on your roof. We're not going to put inferior products on your roof. They're going to be products that are going to go with that 50-year system. But overall, material-wise, GF offers all the way down from your ice and water barrier, your underlayments. We have different thicknesses. There's materials that we can get for sound deadening. This is just the run-of-the-mill 95% of the work that we do in this area, and it's effective. It works well. If you got a lot of wind, this is the shingle to have. I mean, we get limited sometimes to colors, and there's customers that want certain colors, and we can do other brands. We just really, like the GF products.